Have you ever felt the energy all around you, or a sensation that's typically not there, and thought to yourself, what is going on? Well, lucky for you, in this show, Master Your Energy, we're going to dive deep and explore the energy going around in the cosmos and how it might be impacting us here on Earth. And also, each episode, you'll gain new tools, perspectives, and ways to connect deeper and deeper with your own energy. And of course, I'm your host, Sarah Wong. After 15 years in being in a corporate environment, I decided to dive deeper into my own energy. And over the last 10 years, I've studied things including emotional intelligence, quantum physics. I also became a Reiki master. And specifically speaking, over the last 4 years, I opened my own business and have served thousands of clients in understanding and healing their own energy. As your guide, I'm honored to be here with you today. Welcome to the official month of June. Now, June is a month of change, new beginnings, creativity, new stability. And June is actually derived from the goddess Juno, all about that rejuvenation. So if you're really feeling a little need for some rejuvenation after this busy Memorial Day weekend, throwing yourself into the fire, if that's what you did, getting yourself out there and realizing, oh, wow, we're all outside now. It is a time of change and transition. We are finding momentum. We are moving forward. And in that, new clarity, new perspectives. No need to force the old. This is really a invitation to explore new and new ways to grow and expand and evolve. Not only that, we are in Gemini season and it's all about that mental balance. So right now it's not getting caught up in our emotions or our thoughts and thinking that those are absolutely truth. I know for me, I've been really expressing curiosity in my mind and allowing myself to explore the thoughts before I decide they're A, number one, true, and B, the best way to really feed my energy. So taking a time out, slowing down is what is required. And the biggest reason for that is the Mercury being in retrograde. So it is a time to slow down. And if we're not slowing down, either technology or others will probably allow us to do that and starting to explore new perspectives. And sometimes new opportunities come to us. I know for me last week, a lot of new energy came into my reality to navigate through. And from that, created new habits, new opportunities, new commitments. And in that is also a time to reflect on my daily routine. So instead of having to do an overhaul of my life, I'm just going to take it day by day because in Mercury retrograde, that is exactly what the energy wants us to do. And we're also in the midst of the first eclipse season. So we're in a time between the lunar eclipse, which was last week, and the solar eclipse, which is next week. So when we're in that time frame, it's a time where a lot can shift. Now, okay, so I mentioned that, and we also have another nuance. And you know me, I love looking at space weather. So we got 5 asteroids going around Earth right now. One of them is the size of this Seattle skyscraper, the Space Needle. And no need to worry, they're not going to hit Earth, but it does bring in new frequencies, right? I mentioned this before on the show. When we have these asteroids coming into our energetic field on Earth, it brings in unexpected news, turn of events, new clarity, new thoughts. Not bad. It could be actually really positive. Now, it's very interesting because right now we're in this eclipse portal and we're also in 2021 with a vibration of 5, and there's 5 asteroids happening right now, and it's between today, tonight, and tomorrow. So just be open to what new information comes to you that might guide you completely new direction. And it might also be a conversation you had this past weekend that maybe didn't resonate or land well, an experience you didn't understand, or maybe you're still wrapping your energy around. Whatever that is because there's a new perspective, awareness, or a new belief system that wants to guide you forward. So instead of reflecting on this weekend, if you had something heavy happen over the last few days or a situation that just didn't sit well or caused confusion, That is super, super common in eclipse season, and all that's required is just to slow down and not put too much energy into it. Just ask yourself, what is being presented? What is true for me? And how do I want to move forward now with this information? So, this is a great time of reflection and giving yourself that permission to not just jump to conclusions. It's super easy to do because when Gemini's in our ethers, it's an energy of duality, right? We see pros and cons. We can see this side and this side. And in that, we can get confused and lost in our own opinions. So that's why it's important, especially when Mercury's in retrograde in Gemini, to just slow down. Just slow down and take this opportunity as a declaration for a new beginning. If you need a permission slip, you know you got one right here. There you go. So go ahead and take it and do whatever you want with it. Now, with this asteroid energy coming into Earth over the next several hours, and whenever you hear this, it's probably a message that there is information coming through that does want to inspire you and take you into a new direction. And that's actually the energy all around us right now, is that creativity, that drive, that passion, momentum, desire to create. And sometimes when we move into creation, we can get so lost in the final result or outcome, or maybe energy that didn't necessarily take off like we expected. And we get lost in these dreams of like, will this ever happen? And there's this thing that happens in life. And it's when you have a goal and you haven't achieved the goal, but you know the goal's possible, but you just know that it requires consistent action and alignment to really achieve it. But when you haven't achieved it, like for example, many women I know trying to get pregnant and have yet to conceive, or people trying to find that new job and have yet to find it, or people like artists, musicians who are just creating amazing music but still are building their brand, building their exposure, finding new outlets. So if you look at the media right now, you look at the landscape, everything's changing. Our entire reality is changing. And there's new markets popping up for money, the cryptocurrency. There's, new platforms for music distribution. There's new content platforms for consumption. Everything is opening up in different ways and allowing us to be creative. And we're not meant for all platforms. We're not meant to do everything. So it's finding where our energy belongs. And so for some, you might have just got laid off, or you might have just quit because you're just ready for something new. So wherever you're at in your process, this is a new month, new energy, new beginnings. So rejuvenate where you need to and trust yourself. So, today's guest is someone who I feel will be an amazing conduit of expression in terms of what's required to follow your creativity, create from your heart, and continue to trust your journey and know that all that's required is to continue to explore your passions and your gifts and maybe in new ways. So today's guest is someone who is no strangers to that. So after this quick little break, we'll be back. So stay tuned. If you're just tuning in to KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind, or streaming live on the Energy House YouTube channel, this is Sarah Wong, host of Master Your Energy, and this week is all about exploring your mind, creativity, and your visions from a whole new point of view. And today's guest is no stranger to exploring his visions and inspiration. Matt Hartke is a recording artist, platinum-selling Billboard Top 40 songwriter. And as a songwriter, he has written for the Chainsmokers, Avicii, Max Martin, Adam Lambert, Tiesto, just to name a few. And as an artist, Matt has created soul-driven songs that light up this world in a whole new way. In today's episode, we're going to explore the journey of heart creation work and what it takes to keep yourself motivated during the time of creation. Let's dive in. And we're back. So, little technical difficulty. I did say it was Mercury retrograde, and for some reason, I'm not quite sure what happened to today's guest. So, we're going to try to get him back on, and we will figure out what is going on with that. So meanwhile, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about tuning into your own energy when you really need to find a way forward. So sometimes in life, we come up across a bridge where we are trying to move forward and it's just not happening. And no matter what we do in life, it continues to create roadblocks and challenges. And it's almost like whatever I try, it's just not working out. And what really happens in life is true alignment. We can make intentions and we can make opportunities to really step into those intentions. But if we're not aligned in our energy, we're not aligned in our actions, then it's just going to cause a lot of inconsistency in terms of what we can really do. So aligned action is definitely necessary. And with aligned action comes an opportunity to see and experience things in new ways. So one thing I would say with aligned action that is absolutely required is commitment to your intentions. So getting very clear on what are your intentions and how can you truly move forward with those intentions in a way that allows you to experience life in new ways. So trying something new. Instead of waking up and doing the exact same thing, the first thing you can do is try something new. So with that, Mercury retrograde has corrected itself and I got Matt back on. So with that, I'm going to add him to the show so we can explore his journey and what was required for him to really step into his artistry as a songwriter and an artist himself. So welcome to the show, Matt. Hi, Matt. Welcome to the
Hey,
show.
I don't know what happened. It just froze at the wrong time, but
It's Mercury retrograde.
there we
That's
go.
life, right? You're just an example of the energy all around us. So here we are. So good to have you on this show. Matt, one of the things I love about your energy is you're truly from your heart. You create from your heart, you write from your heart. You're a father, you're a husband, you're a son, and your music is also expression of life. And I think that's important for now, right now, especially is hearing, the true journey of life. And I know you've come a long way in your musical career, so would love to hear, where you're at in your journey and, what is your true passion for all the energy you create with music.
Well, it's a good question. Well, I started playing drums in middle school. Did that for a few years. I took about a year of piano lessons when I was young, and then I pretty much didn't do anything until college. And I picked up the guitar in college and started singing, and I tried to learn some songs. I think the first song I learned was some John Mayer song, but after learning the second chord, I started writing my own song. So, since I can remember, I was making up songs all the time. I thought everybody did this until I was about 20, 22, and I was like, I realized not everybody was making up songs in their head all the time. So it wasn't until right after college where I actually went back home. I went to school in Rhode Island. I went back home to New Jersey. I got a degree in communications, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. I got pretty depressed for a few months, and there was this diner in this town I grew up in that we always went to, and right next to it was this place that said Psychic, and it was always there. And so I just walked in one day, and it was the first time I went to a psychic, and she says, "You play guitar and you sing?" I said, "Yes." She said, "You're going to be famous within 2 years." And I wasn't even thinking about doing music, and my ego loved that. But what was exciting about that was it hit me like a jolt of light, like this is what I'm supposed to do. And
Hmm.
I barely was playing music. I was only playing guitar for a few years. So the girl I was dating at the time was still living in Rhode Island. So I went back up, and I met a few people. My buddy Pete Taylor was starting to learn how to record. I recorded an album. This was kind of at the mid to end of the Jack Johnson era, and it sounds very much like that. I don't even think you can find it online anymore. But it did pretty well in the end of the MySpace era
Yeah.
world. And
Yes.
then that pretty much dissolved, and I didn't
Mhm.
translate any of those MySpace fans over to Facebook. And so there was a few years of flux for me, and I was making almost no money. I was playing some shows out for a couple $100, $200 here and there, but I was still just songwriting by myself in Rhode Island, and I was moving to Hawaii. I think it was in 2011, and I was thinking about giving up on my music career, and I got a call from my buddy who was working at a company called BMG, and he says, "Hey, we're starting a brand new department here. It's only going to be like 10 writers and an artist, and we'd love to sign you up." So that basically started my writing career. I went to Hawaii for 4 months and I ran out of money, so I came back, and then I was making trips down to New York for about a year or two, using the studio. It was actually all John Legend's gear in the studio, and one of my producer partners, who I now work with for years, used to kick me out because he would be producing John Legend, and since it was John's gear, I was using it for free. Whatever I was
Yeah.
doing, I got kicked out. But I started writing with other people. Started writing for other artists, and that worked a completely different side of the brain. Um,
Yeah.
and what happened is I solely did that for a while, and I lost the artist, and I lost my appreciation for music. In 2016, released a song called Gold, which it wasn't like a hit. It was kind of a slight indie hit, but it made me pull back to becoming an artist mostly full time. And I've regained what it is to be an artist. But I kind of feel like artists who don't write with other people, who don't get stretched, who don't kind of take the systematic approach as well, they're only using one side of their brain. So
Mhm.
I felt like doing both separately kind of worked the different hemispheres, and now they're, a great songwriter, great artist kind of is cohesive with using all of their brain and their
Yes.
heart and their being, whatnot. Um, so yeah, so I've been writing, releasing music, and still writing with other people sometimes. But my goal now is really to just make good music with good messages. Everyone's trying to be great. Um, it's I think the industry, knowing the ins and out, feels very demonic.
Mhm.
Um, it's very ego driven, very surface. So I'm just trying to write songs that are neutral, good songs, and hopefully that helps some people.
Yeah, we love neutral. I feel like the music industry is ready for a complete rejuvenation, a complete new beginning, and it's already happening. I've seen a lot of artists take off and become number one on Billboard from TikTok, going viral on TikTok, right? And we're starting to see, all these new emerging platforms start to take off and give artists like you non-traditional exposure to the masses. So it's an exciting time to create from the heart and have those platforms available, unlike before, I feel like. And not only that, but the behavior of consumption has changed a lot. People no longer consume whole albums, they're more EPs, right? So I feel like the
Or
industry,
singles.
yeah,
I used,
singles.
yeah, just you just release singles now.
Yeah.
Is
Yep.
kind of the way, but
It's interesting. You mentioned you're, coming back into your artistry. Your song was Gold, and gold is the energy of wisdom, which, as you mentioned, it's like you applied, both sides of your experience as an artist, a songwriter, and musician, and, created gold, which is so, so symbolic. And I really feel like it's also, divine timing, right? Is sometimes we need to go through what we thought was the right path that led us to a completely different direction, but gave us all the knowledge we needed and experience to then apply to gain that wisdom. So, where you're at now, I feel like is that crucial point. So, given that you've been on this journey for so long, what is one thing you've done energetically, mentally, or spiritually that's just helped you stay motivated, stay committed to your songwriting and artistry?
um, I think I was so I was a athlete for from time I was 7. I swam in college, Division 1 swimming program, and I hated it. But what it really taught me was perseverance. And I find if you're meant to do something and it takes forever, it always looks like the next step is going to be it. So you're always given this little carrot dangled in front of you. So you go through the process of getting excited. This is it. You're moving forward. This is finally you're making it to a certain place, and you get a little bit, and then you have to go back to the drawing board, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then there's this cycle in it, and the whole, as you go forward with this cycle, it makes you better and better.
Yep.
But that's my journeys. I have friends my friend Manny Hoffman is a French singer, and when he was 22 or 24, he wasn't even doing music, and he was asked to sing on the song called Starlight. He was basically doing music for 3 months. He sang on it. The song went multi-platinum, and I think in 10, 12 countries, and he became this big star.
Wow.
But now he's been for 20 years. How old is he? He's probably in his 40s now. He's been chasing that song, and he's had some success. So sometimes it happens in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, it doesn't happen at all, and it's just depending what you're looking for.
Yeah. As an artist, especially now, post pandemic, we're still in the pandemic, but I would like to say phase 2 of the pandemic. We're still navigating this new world. What is one of the biggest things that's top on your mind to, besides like obviously good music, what are some themes that are just top of mind right now that you're really working with as a songwriter, creator, artist, all of it?
We're in the business of song, so
Yeah.
it's writing timeless songs,
Yeah.
writing songs that can genuinely help people, affect people, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Simplicity.
Yes. And I love that because sometimes I feel like when we have a big goal in mind or a big dream, sometimes it's easy to go into the big, like, I need to do this huge concert or this huge performance to know I've arrived. So, what is one thing you tell yourself that you can acknowledge yourself today and know everything you've created is just as good about it as what's to come to help keep you motivated and keep you grounded in knowing that you absolutely are here to be successful in music.
Um, well, what was the question? I think that turned into
So
like a
what
statement.
Yeah, I mean, yes, both and but what tool do you use to keep grounded in knowing like this is where I'm at, but I also know there's more to come.
Um, it's
But this
just
is still a great place, right?
it's just a drive to always create the next thing.
Yeah.
So it's here and now. Everything I've done is, I don't think about it. Um, Things to come, I don't think about that. It's what's just being brought in now. What I can channel now. It's definitely a mix of using the tools that I've built and
Hmm.
channeling messages, and also so channeling messages from higher places, and also mirroring back society to society's self.
Hmm.
There's something called in the Native American culture Hayuka medicine, and it's the sacred clown, and it's a revered position, and it's basically the person in the tribe who is the clown and whose mirrors back all the insanity back to the tribe, and that's part of what I feel like I'm doing too.
Mm, I love that. Yeah, it's music is a reflection. I mean, I feel like every person we interact, but sometimes songs can just bring to life thoughts, ideas, feelings, emotions, and allow us to feel in a different way. So I'm excited for everyone to get to hear some of your music. So after the commercial break, we're going to come back and Matt's going to perform a few live songs and talk about what they mean and his journey with music. So don't miss this opportunity to hear Matt Hartke perform live on KCAA radio today because it's going to be an awesome opportunity to open your heart. So after this break, we'll be right back. If you're just tuning in to KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind, or streaming live on the Energy House YouTube channel, this is Sarah Wong, host of Master Your Energy, and this week is all about exploring your mind, creativity, and your visions from a whole new point of view. And today's guest is no stranger to exploring his visions and inspiration. Matt Hartke is a recording artist, platinum-selling Billboard Top 40 songwriter. And as a songwriter, he has written for the Chainsmokers, Avicii, Max Martin, Adam Lambert, Tiesto, just to name a few. And as an artist, Matt has created soul-driven songs that light up this world in a whole new way. In today's episode, we're going to explore the journey of heart creation work and what it takes to keep yourself motivated during the time of creation. Let's dive in. And we're back. So, Matt, I'm going to turn it over to you to introduce your first song and whatever you want to share about that journey.
Okay. So this is called London Song. And London is my daughter. She's 21 months, almost 22 months. I wrote this song probably about a month after she was born. And yeah, so you can hear it on Spotify, whatnot. It's actually just gone pretty viral on TikTok.
Awesome.
So like it has 150 million plays and like over 3,000 videos people have posted with the song. So
If you're on TikTok, check it out.
So it's called London Song. Sweeter in the morning when I look at your face, I love you. Oh, my little daughter, you're the meaning of grace, I love you. And I'm like, ooh. Take a little piece of my heart. Talking in your sleep, I wonder what you're dreaming up, dear. And if the wood don't keep you warm, there's a blanket of stars above here. And I'm like, ooh. Take another piece of my heart. This is where you'll always wanna be. And leave your tank on E. There's a place we can go where you look at the light and it splinters. Where there's plenty of gas to last us through the cold, cold winter. And I'm like, ooh. Take whatever's left of my heart. This is where you'll always wanna be. But leave your tank on E. 'Cause I will love you tender. Yes, I will love you more. Yes, I will love you forever more. This is where you'll always wanna be. In the sunshine, standing next to me. This is where you'll always wanna be. In the sunshine, standing next to me.
Awesome. Beautiful. When you play that for her, does she love it? Does she dance? Does she have
She
her own
did.
dance?
She doesn't
Yeah.
care anymore. But she used to really love it. I have a video when she was like 2 months and she was loving it.
Oh,
Right
so
now she can
cute.
care less about it.
Right, right.
But
Beautiful.
one day.
So what was the big theme of that song? Obviously, I know it's about your daughter, but
It's just unconditional love
yeah.
and support.
Yeah. So beautiful. What's your next song?
Okay, this is it's a song by request from you. So I released this song last November. It's called Hey Babe. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek uh, type of song that I wrote during the pandemic. So this is how it goes. Hey babe, look at you now, I'm like you, all strung out, back to the river where the water's drought, fortunes fade but they don't run out. Hey babe, look at you now, I'm like you, all strung out, back to the river where the water's drought, fortunes fade but they don't run out. I got this feeling in I got this feeling in my soul tonight. Hold the light till the morning singing. I got this feeling in I got this feeling in my soul tonight. Hold the light till the morning singing. And all you gotta do is carry on, carry on. This feeling in I got this feeling in my soul tonight. Hold the light till the morning singing. I got this feeling in I got this feeling in my soul tonight. Hold the light till the morning sing. Then all you gotta do is carry on, carry on. You now. Hey babe, look at you now. I'm like you, all strung out, back to the river where the water's drought. Fortunes fade but they don't run out.
And if you're just tuning in, that is live Matt Hartke performing his song Hey Babe. So thanks for tuning in. And Matt, thank you
that's
for
the first
being
time I've ever performed it.
really on
Yeah.
live. Oh, look at us. KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind, bringing you first for Matt Hartke. I love that song. Personally speaking, thank you for that song. It helped me get through the pandemic because it brought joy. It brought like just an upbeat energy in it. I felt so much energy in my soul during the pandemic of new directions and clarity and, you know, giving myself permission to break free from what was and accept what is. And that song really helped me. So thank you for performing it and writing it. All right. What is the next song?
All right. The third and final song. So this, I'm going to do Gold. I wasn't, but since we talked about it. Yeah, so this is the song that set me back on my artist journey. I have this amazing guitar from 1967. I think it's a 1966 Epiphone, but it always gets out of tune. So.
And if you're listening on the radio, he is performing live. This is not pre-recorded. So thank you, Matt, for being an amazing artist to be able to do this live as well.
Sure. Absolutely. Okay, let's see. When do we do this? Okay, let's try there.
Yes, I feel you all the time. You're in my dreams all through the night. If you look down and your hands are tied, say the words love and I'll be by your side. And all that you are, I see in your eyes. And honestly, love, I gave you my life, a beautiful life.
Perfect timing.
This is a declaration, a bearing of my soul. Let's have a conversation nobody ever holds. It's so complicated, but still I know you are the best thing. You are the best thing. You are gold. You are gold. Call me crazy, well I don't mind. But Johnny Cash did. I'll walk the line. You found me right on time. And all that you are, I see in your eyes. And honestly, love, I gave you my life, a beautiful life. This is a declaration, a bearing of my soul. Let's have a conversation that nobody ever holds. It's so complicated, but still I know you are the best thing. You are the best thing. You are gold, gold, gold. This is a declaration, a bearing of my soul. Let's have a conversation that nobody ever holds. It gets so complicated, but still I know you are the best thing. 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 You are gold.
All right, fantastic. And if you're just tuning in, that was Matt Hartke performing Gold. And what a beautiful song. I actually don't think I've ever heard that, or maybe not the whole song, or actually not this intimately watching you perform live. So thank you. What a beautiful song. And the message really resonated as well.
Thank you so much.
I feel like 2021 is the year of gold. It's a golden opportunity for so many. And it truly is a time to believe in yourself and have deeper conversations with ourselves, with our loved ones, with life, and ask, what is required to create the reality I know I can. And we all, I believe, are masters of our own realities. So Matt, thank you for being an amazing example of creation and following your path. And even though you went different directions, it all mattered and created gold. And here you are again, stepping into your artistry in a whole new way. So thank you. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So we still have about, I would say 9 minutes left of the show time. Is there any last messages or stories you would like to share for inspiration about your journey or even just being a musician?
Yeah. No.
You're like,
Right?
no, just live,
That's it.
just
Yeah.
be,
I
just
think we
create.
fulfilled it. Yeah. I could play
Yeah.
another song for you. Who
Ooh.
would say, no, I feel like no one would say no. So that's
I
all.
feel like encore is always appreciated. And if the universe has no last messages from you, then music is what you get to create.
Okay. It's been like some of these songs. It's been like since I haven't been playing out. I don't even know if I remember how to play them. But so this is a song. Sometimes like Gold took a couple weeks to write. This song was the only time it was just I was sitting in a chair in my living room and I felt my head open up and tingling on top of my head, and this song came through me in one shot. And I've tried to change it many times lyrically and whatnot, but it pretty much just stays the same. So this was the only song that was ever fully given to me, I feel. So it's called Lion's Share. So I'll play this one. I have a cold too, so sorry for all the sniffling. Oh.
I'm ready for the way you need me now. I can't see what all they did for sacrifice, 'cause I'm in trouble now, disturbed the sleeping town. And I'll try my best to leave their bad advice, and I'll take the highest road I can tonight. And if you should let us grow, I will show my faith, because I'm ready for the way you need the lion's share of everything. I'm ready for the way you need to lie down with the enemy, 'cause I'm ready for the way you need me. And I know you never held his only son, 'cause there's just no way you'd ever call it dawn. And if you should need some sleep, I'll know what you mean, because I'm ready for the way you need the lion's share of everything. I'm ready for the way you need to lie down 'cause I'm ready to fall the way you need the lion's share of everything. 'Cause I'm ready to fall the way you need to lie down with the enemy. 'Cause I'm ready to fall the way you need the lion's share of all of me. I'm ready to fall the way you need me.
Bravo. It's so interesting that you mentioned that was a channeled song because the energy of it is so vibrationally different. Even your tone's different, and it really does, like, my whole body got chills when you started performing as well.
Yeah.
So I definitely felt that higher frequency come through.
Well,
Is that something? Yeah, go ahead.
It's interesting. It is something that I'm still formulating. I'm going to talk about. Nobody seems to talk about this, but there's scales of consciousness. So different songs reach people at different levels,
Right.
and affect people differently. So I have friends who just love the surface upbeat, pop, 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 pop stuff, and are like, do this, do this, do this. I have other friends who are like, do this, only this.
Right.
So, like "Hey Babe" is a lighter song,
Yep.
and so it's interesting. Like, I think great artists can play the scales of songs from different layers.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Yeah, and it's so amazing. Also, you're right. I mean, every single song you played today had a different frequency, had a different energy to it. So
yeah,
such a breadth of knowledge and range. Your voice, oh my goodness, you have such range as well. So thank you for exploring and using it, because you're right. Some artists just use one range or go for one tone, and I think it's important
Yeah.
when you're your own creator to explore. And that even like is outside of musicians, right? We all have personalities, and our personality is full of different energies as well, and how we express ourselves. And I think it's important right now to see your environment and who we put ourselves around, and check into your energy and see how that affects you. It could open up a lot of perspective of what truly serves you and doesn't. So,
I mean,
Matt, yeah, go ahead.
the goal of, I guess now, thinking about it, the goal of my songs is to balance myself.
Yeah.
To find balance within myself. So, hopefully that's what people feel too.
Yes, I agree. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. It was an absolute pleasure. I think we all really are grateful just to hear your heart-filled music after Memorial Day weekend, and just needing to relax and move into this new month with love and trust in ourselves, creativity, and permission just to stay present and know that's enough. So thank you for being that reminder and being on the show today.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
All right. And for all of you tuning in, make sure to tune in next Tuesday at 4 p.m. I'll be back with the energy update of the week and another inspiring guest to share their wisdom, their journey, and tips and tools to navigate these ever-changing times. So with that, have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in to Master Your Energy here on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. And also streamed live on YouTube on the Energy House YouTube channel, where you can also find live activations, meditations, and other content to support you on your energy healing needs. If you're looking for services, products, tools to go even deeper, please make sure to check out energyhouselb.com. That's ENERGYHAUSLB.com. On that site, you'll see a list of services, products, and so much more for all things energy, mind, body, and soul. With that, have a powerful week, and I'll see you next Tuesday at 4 p.m. on KCAA Radio and YouTube Live.